Hello.
Hello, Matthew.
Hello, Hema. Now, this is a recording for TAE 502 assessment, and I'm going to start off with Tool 1. And as per our last conversation, Hema, I did email you. And first of all, this is the agenda we're going to follow. The agenda for today is, which is going to be the similar as the last time, where we're going to go through the entire assessment tools. We're going to make sure that it fits the purpose again, the validation, the flexibility, reliability, and fairness. And then we're going to go through each of the instrument that is being used, observation, verbal, and written. And with your advice, with your feedback, I made some changes, and would like to go through that again with you.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
Awesome. Now, the first unit we are looking at is for tool 1 is right routine workplace text.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's right routine workplace, and we start off with the observation instrument that is being used, as you can see.
Yes, as per our meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Previous.
And what do you think about the changes that has been made? Anyway?
Yeah, I could notice that you have changed the spacing. That's really good.
Yes.
And you have used simpler words. So that's really good.
Yes, I understand from the previous conversation, in terms even when we, from the observation list, there were a couple of things that needed to be changed, as what you mentioned, so that it's easier for the assessor. Plus, because it's easier for the assessor, it will be able to get the process much flexible with the students.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's really good.
So that has been changed.
I'm very happy with that.
Thank you. Now let's go to the written assessment. The written assessment, as you can see the questions, I've actually changed in terms of one of the question where it says it's not organized, but I've actually put in their plan. So it's the student will get a clearer understanding.
Yes, because they can that's what we spoke the other time, the last meeting, that we do not want big words to be written. It has to be simple, straight to the point, because these are all international students.
Majority of them will be international students who will be doing this course,
so
but not only them. There'll be other students too, but we are catering for them too.
Yeah, that's good.
So that was the scenario we spoke about.
Yeah.
And
I like your spacing too. You have spread out as what we mentioned the previous time.
Yeah, that's the cater for students who's got visual, challenges.
Yeah.
So it'll be easy with spacing, gives them enough time to look at things and all that. And
just make sure that with your part C, that short answer question is on the main heading.
That's what it was done from the last time we spoke about.
Oh,
so
okay.
it says moved on to a new page itself.
Oh yeah, that looks good. Yes, yeah.
So it's moved on to the new page. I remember you saying that the last time, as I can see. So that was done.
Okay.
So the spacing is all good.
Yeah.
And I've actually also made a point whereby we've also got verbal questions too, because we had a bit of a discussion on that too, because observation is one tool we are using, and then the written assessment is going to be the main instrument that's being used to collect the knowledge and understanding from the student to be certain that they've got it. But in case if there's an international student, as we spoke the last time, or any student whose language media might not be fully English.
Yes.
So that's why the verbal. What's your review about that change in the verbal, so that by asking these questions, we actually get the answer of the student verbally, and we can go back to the written if the student has made any kind of a mistake in a couple of answers. That could be because of misunderstanding of a word, and that same question has been rephrased in a verbal manner, so it makes things easier for the assessor to validate the answers for the students. So we are meeting the principle of assessment plus the rules of the evidence is also there, because we are doing it on the spot with the student present.
Yeah, that's really good. It's a good advantage for international students. At least verbally, you could hear them, relating or explaining their answer. So it's really good.
Yes. So that's good. And even the questions itself, they've been catered to. It's directly relating to the reading material of the textbook. So when it comes to answers itself, because we are going through the entire material, the learning material, students will have access to that too. And they've got access to the assessor during the time of the assessment. So they can ask us the question and we can help them in the time duration.
Yeah, that's what we spoke the other time, and it's really good that you have demonstrated that in this document.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's good. Anything else you would like to suggest?
I like your spacing. You have spaced all your short answer questions with ample of spacing. So that's really good that we spoke about the previous time.
Yes.
Yeah. Overall, it looks good.
Yeah. Is it easier for you to understand too the questions and all that? Because you can see the questions are there. It actually says, like, for example, I've written there. If you go to question 4, question 4 actually says 5 steps to follow when drafting text. So that's straight to the point.
Yeah, that's good.
And the spacing too, because it says 5, they can put it down as a list. They can list the 5. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. Now, that ends our Tool 1 assessment recording. Now we are moving on to tool number 2, which would be for the unit of competency will be use routine strategy for career planning. That's the title of the unit. And in this scenario, we've gone through the question as per the last time too. We've reviewed it, and based on your feedback, I've actually changed the questions in a way that is much more easier for the student to understand. So changing the word as what you suggested. If that's the unit we're looking at. So you can look at the observation. So that's what we start off with. For all the assessments, we're starting off with the observation because
I noticed that you have changed your wordings for your observation. Rather simple words. You've used select and identify. I think the previous time you used I noticed. What did the previous time you used? What words? I remember I told you
strategically.
Yes. So that's
I would have used strategically select. So instead of using strategically select, it's not even relevant. So to fix that issue, to make it simple, I took that out and just put in a select. So that's much more easier.
Okay.
So there's a strategy in there that I changed it. So that's all right. And also with the SMART goals, from the observation is pretty simple, easy, self-explanatory for the student. And again, the student will have the assessor there, and the assessor will be actually telling the student before the assessment start that they will have the time to approach us anytime, because we don't want them to wait till the end of the assessment period, but they can approach us anytime to clarify any doubt they have.
That's
so
good.
The assessment will be catering for that too, and the time durations too. And if you can, even the verbal, again, this is also for people of foreign language where English is not their first language. Again, when it comes to written, it can create confusion, as what we spoke about the last time for this tool 2 assessment. So there's a verbal questions too that will help us to understand how they are identifying the career options. So you could see that, right? Yes, that's the one. So how to start identifying career options. So it gives them, I've given them enough boxes so that they know, okay, they can choose 2 answers. So it'll be much easier.
I noticed that some of the boxes you have one is...
Yeah, that will be instructed by the instructor that they can use 1 boxes instead of the boxes.
Good. Okay.
So that's part of the thing too. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. And with the questions, can you understand the questions? Are all the questions self-explanatory, or do you think it will impose any kind of a doubt when it comes to...
No, it's quite straightforward.
Good.
And I like the way, rather than writing the word 5, you write it in number format, so that's quite straightforward.
Yes, the number format is also there so that we literally know that the student have got understanding.
Yes, so that's good.
And we're gonna create a kind of a scenario where the student will be acting out some of these requirements too. This is also applicable for tool 1 and tool 2 and tool 3 because the observation gives them an option to either have a group discussion or a presentation. So when they present, they will be offering us their understanding of the knowledge they are gaining from us, so that it be sufficient for them to take it forward to their employment and demonstrate it at their employment.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good.
So
I'm
again, we're
happy with
meeting the
this.
principle of assessment and the rule of assessment.
Yeah.
And again, it is authentic because we're doing it on the premises of the assessment area. So we're doing it in a classroom. So that makes it authentic and it's current and it's valid too.
Okay, good.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's for assessment tool 2 that we've gone through, and that seems to be pretty explanatory for you. And the 10 and the question 2 has got 10 like listing them. That's sufficient. Anything you would like to suggest that I might have to change, or you think it's fine compared to the last time because most of the changes has been done?
Yeah, it looks good. Just make sure that I noticed you have not numbered your pages. Is there something that you need to number, or
Number the pages?
yes?
Yes, that can be done.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be done. Numbering of the pages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, based on the numbering, yeah, I didn't. The numbering of the pages is not there for the observation.
Yeah.
Because it's meant to be just that by itself. But then with the written questions, it's got part 1, part 2, and part 3.
So you feel
So that actually helps them to know, okay, this part
okay.
A, part 2, and then we're gonna stress to the students, the assessor, that there's gonna be 3 parts, part A, B, C, so the student know, okay, this is what you're looking at. But that's a good suggestion. I will implement the page numbering, so that will be done. So that's good. So apart from that, it caters for all type of students too, don't you think so?
Yeah, it does.
Yes, fantastic. Thank you. Now we're going to tool number 3 for the assessment. Previously we were ending tool number 2, and now going to tool number 3. And tool number 3, let's open it up. You've got that too. Feel free to get ready.
Okay, assist with
Okay, you
customer
got that.
difficulties. Is that the one?
Yes, that's the one. Assist with customer difficulty. That's the tool number 3 for the assessment. And again, we've got 3 instruments that we're using: observation, verbal, and the third is the written. But we always have the written assessment because that's where we literally get them to write, and we've got multiple choice, and we got short answer, and we got true or false. So we cater for 3 type of variation of answering.
Yeah, I noticed that
question,
from our previous discussion, you have presented the layout that we spoke about, so that's good. Simple words, observation checklist, where you have recognized customer dissatisfaction and understand action to avoid escalation. Yeah, that's good. You've nailed it. What I've told you the previous time.
I like those.
Really good. Yeah,
that's good. Thank you. That's good. And with questions, what do you think about the questions? Do you think because this is to help assisting clients?
It's straightforward. Part A. Are you talking about part A, true and false?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 and 4.
Yeah, it's straightforward. Yeah.
Straightforward. And because it's helping, is to assist customers' difficulty with the questions. What's your opinion about the questions in terms of getting them prepared for the employment? Do you think it caters to the scenario basis? Because you will notice in a couple of the questions, like for example, question number 4. This is in the verbal questions. Yeah, we're going to the verbal questions first.
Okay.
So with the verbal question, there is explain 4 suggestions, solution to a customer's complaint. So they are actually suggesting what could be the reason why a customer is complaining. So you give them a bit of an idea. These are the scenario that they might come across. So it gives them a tool to be prepared.
Okay, it looks. I'm sorry, I cannot find it.
If you just move up a bit, that's good. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
We should just go up a bit.
Oh, good. Okay.
So that's the observation.
Yeah. And the
So
question
if you
4.
actually move down,
Mm-hmm.
that's the verbal. There you go.
Okay. Okay.
That's the verbal.
Explain any 4. Yeah.
So the any 4 is question 4. You got that. That's the
Yeah.
one.
Good.
And the assessor has got the the satisfaction and not yet
Satisfactory.
satisfactory.
Yeah.
So that's that too. Satisfy, not yet satisfactory. And then the question is there, and we also catered because assisting customer there is the way we deal with people of different personality, because that's what the student's going to come across in real employment time. So that if you move down to question 9, 10 and 11, that actually deals with the specific type of people that the retail market encounter, like the bullies, the I know it all, and miss the boundaries. And so that question relates to them. By providing the answer verbally, speaking to them, we get the understanding of where they stand, and we can direct them into the path. And then back to our written question, as you can see, the written question brings about giving them an opportunity to show us the evidence that they've understood what they've studied. And as I mentioned from our previous review too, I've broken down the session into 3 parts, A, B, and C. And so each part of it, it's like true or false in part A, multiple question in part B, and then part C is short answers. And again, it is designed in such a way that when the unit is being delivered and the assessment will go through from the top to the bottom. So it gives them an overview of the entire unit, what they need to attain in terms of competency. So when they come to assessment wise, it actually it's targeted to each part of the learning material.
That's good.
And again, when it comes to validating the rule of assessment, we are assessing the student in the premises. So it's going to be current, it's going to be authentic, because the student is there right in front of us in person. And so it's been the street up assessment, so we meet the principle of assessment. So the validity, the flexibility, the fairness, and the reliability, it's there too.
That looks good. And I like the way you've used, as we spoke about questions, differentiating the color tones.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, the color tone is for in case if there's any student who might again sight issues, the certain brightness and certain colors, too much of colors is not very useful. And if you've actually put in black and gray, blue, it's a purpose because it's lighter in the sight for the high sight. And text wise is much bigger, so the students be able to understand that text wise when they read it. Question wise made it more simpler, and it relates, every question is to do with each part of the lecture material.
Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm satisfied
Emma,
with your overall work.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
So thank you, Emma, for your time.
You're welcome.
And again, thank you for the opportunity for me to do this video, and for all the assistance that you've given me, Paul and Chris and the rest of the team at Fortress. Thank you, and have a great day. See ya. Bye-bye.